When it comes to breakfast, it's hard to beat the classic bacon and egg combo. But if you're on a carnivore diet like me, the gold standard of breakfast can get super boring super fast. But what if every carnivore breakfast could feel like a treat, not just another scramble? So instead of getting stuck with the same plate every morning, I'm going to show you 4 of my best carnivore recipes that you can rely on. They're super simple, tasty, and honestly, unexpected. Give them all a try, and I promise that it'll change the way that you start your day. Before we get to cooking, I want to welcome and encourage all of you to join me for the next 90-day carnivore challenge. And aside from the $2,000 in cash prizes that I give out every month, you'll get 24/7 support from my all-star carnivore team. Every carnivore recipe you could possibly dream of, daily meetings to keep you on track and motivated with your weight loss and healing, and a chance to ask your questions to amazing doctors and experts like Sally K. Norton, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Sean Baker, and so many more of your favorite carnivore faces. If you're looking for a comprehensive one-stop shop for everything carnivore, this is your chance to transform your health and mind and connect with the most supportive community there is. So to join us for the next challenge, just go to sbgmeetup.com as shown on the screen, or check out the link down below in the description box. Let's get to cooking. Let's start with breakfast number 1, our breakfast burritos. I want to focus on making it time-saving and easy, so we'll use these Egg Life egg white wraps. If you want to make it at home, you can use my chicken tortilla recipe linked down below. For my breakfast burritos, I'll be filling it up with ground beef, eggs, and some fresh chorizo sausage meat. For minimal cleanup and no smoke in my kitchen, I'll be using my tasty air fryer to cook with. I have their non-toxic ceramic air fryer. I started off by cooking the ground beef first by filling 1 pound of the ground beef into the tray and cooking at 370 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Since my husband needs a lot of flavor in his meat, I decided to use this chorizo sausage mix, which is filled with lots of spices and delicious flavors, and I cooked it in my air fryer next with this picanha steak on top at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for a total of 10 minutes. And here we have our breakfast platter of scrambled eggs, picanha, ground beef, and chorizo. So now we can start filling up our tortillas. Once our burritos are made, we're going to put it on the top rack of the air fryer tray, and we're going to do a flash air fry so that it gets that crispy top. I did it at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for a total of 5 minutes. Aspen says hello. By the way, he just got groomed and they gave him this cute little bow tie. And here's the outcome of our crispy breakfast burritos. I would serve the breakfast burritos with a side of fatty scrambled eggs and some raw sour cream. I get my raw sour cream from Miller's Bio Farm, and you might notice that it's labeled for cats and dogs. Why would they do this? Although it's safe and perfectly healthy and nutrient dense for humans to eat, this is the only loophole for them to get through so that they can ship to most states in America. I'll be sure to link Miller's Bio Farm down below. To share with you guys another amazing find. I know a lot of you are busy and you can't make that jiggly gelatinous bone broth because you just don't have the time. Well, this one is a naked beef bone broth, also from Miller's Bio Farm, where I get my raw dairy, and it is so jiggly and gelatinous. This is the first time where I have found a beef bone broth with just bones, just water, and not even salt. And don't worry, for those who cannot stand this jiggly texture, you can also just heat it up like this and drink it like a soup. Before I show you the next recipe, you may have noticed how much I use my air fryer day to day. Getting an amazing air fryer has been one of the best investments I've made, and definitely one of my top recommendations for carnivores of every level. And I was on the Cuisinart bandwagon like everyone else for years, and it took something not just a little better, but way better to get me to look the other way. So this tasty air fryer is just that, because it can pretty much cook any kind of meat to any temperature of your liking. It looks great, and most importantly, it's FDA certified, PFOA and PFOS free. I've pretty much been using this spectacular air fryer to cook all my daily meals because all I have to do is set it and forget get it. And to top things off, the cooking tray was specifically designed to be dishwasher friendly. So I literally never worry about it. After eating, cooking, I throw it in my dishwasher and it is brand spanking new. Tasty also just launched their brand new ceramic version of the air fryer with some exciting upgrades to take your cooking to the next level. Of course, it's still certified PFOS and PFOA free and perfectly dishwasher friendly. But now you can say goodbye to sticky situations because with the naturally non-stick ceramic coating, cooking and cleanup are even more of a breeze. Honestly, sometimes I won't even need to wash it in the dishwasher because all the grease and oil just slides right off with a paper towel. I also feel like the ceramic coating is going to significantly boost the overall durability of the air fryer. If you want to see why I'm absolutely obsessed with this air fryer for yourself, the Prime Day sale is live now until July 15th. You can use my code SBGAL to get $35 off, plus an extra 1-year warranty and a free digital carnivore cookbook. You don't want to miss out on this deal. But if you would prefer to test your luck to win a free air fryer, I've also teamed up with Tasty to gift lucky Steak and Butter Gang members free air fryers every single week in our non-scale victory calls. All you have to do is just join one of my next carnivore challenges to be entered to win. Let's get back to the video. For breakfast number 2, we have my delicious carnivore muffins. These I batch cook all the time and I just eat it throughout the week, cold and with some butter. Ingredients wise, we will just need some eggs beat up and some ground beef. If you want more protein, you can add some cottage cheese to the mix as well. We're going to mold our ground beef first into cup shapes along our muffin tin molds. And then we're going to carefully pour our egg mixture into each ground beef muffin. Feel free to top it off with some shredded cheese. And by the way, kids love it when you add some shredded cheese so it's nice and melty. And now we're going to bake it at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for a total of 20 minutes. If you want it extra crispy and golden on top, you can do it up to 30 minutes. And here's the finished product. I have to share that these taste extra delicious the next day, either room temperature or straight out of the fridge. What I like to do is I take my favorite raw butter, smear it on top, and just eat it as a snack when I'm traveling. I put a bunch in a Ziploc bag. I eat it on the plane, in the car. Anywhere that I go, these are just so easy to travel with because they're small, they're dense, and you can throw it in a Ziploc bag. Again, if you need more protein in your diet, you can always enjoy it with a side of cottage cheese. Dip it, enjoy. Carnivore breakfast number 3 is for those who miss their refreshing milk and cereal or yogurt and granola. Guess what? You can now enjoy it as a carnivore with this amazing cookie crumble recipe that I learned from Carnivore Terri. I recently made a huge batch of it for my carnivore cheesecake, which I'll link down below, but this can be doubled up as granola and cereal. I'm going to show you how to make it stovetop and also with your air fryer. We will need skim milk powder, and we're also going to need 2 sticks of unsalted butter. Let's start off by heating up our pan, and this entire process of cooking our crust, we will be staying at low heat. So on low heat, we're going to drop in our 2 sticks of butter and just let it slowly melt thoroughly first. And then we're going to take 1 1/3 cup of the skim milk powder and slowly pour it into the melted butter. It is very important to not immediately start mixing and stirring. We want this powder to just sit in the melted butter, okay? So go play with your dog, go love on your kids, and just let it sit for 10 minutes. The longer you let it sit and harden up and absorb, the better. So you'll start seeing that it's kind of formed a cookie. And from here, we're going to break this huge cookie into cookie crumble pieces. And then you'll see that at the bottom of the cookie, it's nice and browned and delicious and caramelized. This is what's going to give it that stunning flavor profile in our cheesecake crust. I also want you to know that this cookie crumble is such a genius recipe because you can double up as a carnivore granola for your yogurt toppings. You can literally do whatever you want with it. So as a cheesecake crust, it's perfect. So this is what the cookie crumble looks like 40 minutes in. We're going to first drain any remaining liquid and fat from our cookie crumble. So push down on the cookie crumble so that any residual liquids are drained out. Now let's say you don't have that much time and you want to just make it in your air fryer. Well, you can actually do it. Just melt your butter into your air fryer pan. I just heat it up at whatever setting, just so long as the butter is melted. And then I pour in the same amount of milk powder over the butter. And I cooked it at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes. And then I broke it apart, moved it around, and did the same thing for another 10 minutes. And I have to show off another amazing find from Miller's Bio Farm. I'm telling you, they have the most amazing variety of raw dairy options. This is their raw unpasteurized Greek yogurt. Yes, they have Greek yogurt that you all just cannot find raw. This farm right here can ship it to you if you live in the United States. So as you can see, it is so thick and so fatty and creamy. All you have to do is serve your favorite yogurt, top it with some of this carnivore granola, and there you have a refreshing snack or breakfast. I also have to shout out Carnivore Terri for this milk and cereal idea. This granola and cereal recipe is actually hers. I highly recommend you check her out. But if you were always a milk and cereal person like me, you will be so happy to have this recipe back in your life. This is the fourth breakfast that I make every single week for my family and husband. I've been staying with my 3 siblings over the summer this year, and I've been making this pecan smoked bacon over and over for them. The way that I cook bacon is very particular because I do not like grease splatter all over my kitchen. I also don't want bacon smells to linger all day long. So I choose to cook my bacon in the oven on top of a rack like this, over parchment paper on top of a sheet. I line my bacon strips over the rack neatly like this, and then I transfer it into my oven that has been preheating for 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, I bake for a total of 20 minutes. If I wanted it extra crispy, I will bake it for 30 minutes. And as you can see, the outcome is so gorgeous. And on top of that, you get crispy bacon with all of the delicious, flavorful rendered fat that dripped out of it right below the rack. So your bacon is not bathing in the fat, causing it to get all soggy and soft. You can serve your bacon, transfer it on a plate, and pour this delicious golden fat in a glass jar, save it as cooking oil. My family loves eating this bacon on top of some eggs, some mushrooms, and ground beef. That wraps up our look at 4 unexpected carnivore breakfast ideas that will actually keep things interesting and delicious. Drop your favorites and what you're most excited about in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Thanks so much for cooking with me today. And if you want to keep the carnivore inspiration going, please hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications because I've got plenty more. I'll see you in my next video. SBG out.